All right, today we're going to dive into a really powerful and, let's be honest, kind of complex poem, Elizabeth Bishop's Roosters. Now, this is a poem that kicks off with a sound that's so familiar you probably don't even think about it. But believe me, where it takes us is, well, it's both unexpected and deeply unsettling.
You know the one. It's that sound that just slices right through the morning quiet. A sharp, piercing cry that you'd recognize anywhere in the world.
Yeah, we all know this sound. For most of us, it just means a new day is starting. You think of a farm, you think of life stirring. It's basically the world's most natural alarm clock. Simple, right? Maybe even a little bit charming.
Okay, but here's the twist. What if that sound isn't just a friendly good morning? What if it's something more, something much darker? And that unsettling question, that's the absolute heart of Elizabeth Bishop's poem. She's asking us to listen again, to really hear the violence and power that's been hiding in plain sight this whole time.
So, to really get how Bishop pulls off this incredible transformation of such an ordinary sound, we first need to take a step back. We've got to look at the poem itself, and just as importantly, the world it was born into.
So, let's set the scene. The year is 1940. World War II is escalating, just swallowing up Europe. And Bishop, who is an absolute master of precise, almost scientific observation, writes Roosters. Now, this isn't some loud, in-your-face protest poem. No, it's way more subtle. It's a razor-sharp, indirect critique of the whole culture of conflict that was taking over the world.
Bishop's real genius here is how she takes this simple barnyard animal and turns it into this potent, multi-layered symbol of power. So let's dig into how she actually does that.
You see, in Bishop's poem, that morning crow, it isn't just a noise. It's a full-on performance. It's a public announcement of dominance, a way of screaming, "This is my yard and I'm the boss." And as the poem makes brutally clear, it's usually the first step toward violence.
And Bishop links this whole performance directly to a very specific kind of aggressive masculinity. You can see it in all these behaviors right here. The strutting, the puffing out the chest, that constant need to put everyone else in their place. It's all there in how the rooster acts, and she uses it as this powerful symbol of a really destructive patriarchal force.
So, this idea of the rooster as a symbol for aggressive masculinity leads us straight to the poem's deepest, most crucial layer. It's a direct metaphor for war itself. And this is where her quiet critique becomes absolutely undeniable.
This table right here just lays it all out so perfectly. Suddenly, the rooster's piercing crow isn't just a crow, it's a general's command, demanding total obedience. Its natural spurs, they're transformed into polished bayonets, actual sharpened instruments of war. And their petty, bloody backyard fights are suddenly elevated to the scale of international border conflicts. This parallel is totally deliberate, and it is absolutely chilling.
And here is the gut punch. By hiding all these military metaphors inside a daily, seemingly natural ritual, Bishop is arguing that we've let violence become normal. It's not some shocking, rare event anymore. It's just part of the cultural wallpaper. We don't even see it.
But how on earth does she build such a devastating argument without ever yelling, without once explicitly saying war is bad? Well, that's where her incredible poetic skill really shines.
She never lectures us. Instead, like this slide asks, she uses these incredibly subtle techniques to guide us, to make us the ones who connect the dots and come to her conclusion on our own.
One of her most powerful tools is contrast. I mean, the whole first half of the poem is just dominated by the rooster's loud, aggressive noise. But then she masterfully contrasts that with these moments of pure silence, with these images of fragility and endurance. These quiet things. They don't necessarily win, but they offer another way to be, a kind of quiet resistance against all that overwhelming noise of power.
So here's her method, kind of broken down. Step 1, she just gives us these super precise, undeniable images. A rooster, its cry. Simple. Step 2, as we just saw, she creates meaning through that contrast. Noise versus silence, aggression versus fragility. And finally, and this is the truly genius part, she doesn't just hand you an argument. She forces us to infer the meaning. And that's what makes it hit so hard, right? Because it feels like we discovered it ourselves.
So, when all is said and done, what's the big takeaway from Bishop's poem? Well, it's about learning to see the machinery of violence and power where we least expect it, right there in the rhythms of our daily lives.
This quote right here really nails it. The poem is a masterclass in exposing how these huge abstract ideas like aggression and domination get quietly baked into our daily rituals until they become so normal that we just stop questioning them at all.
Ultimately, Bishop's poem is this powerful wake-up call. It challenges us to see violence not just in the big, dramatic stuff, war on a battlefield, but in the quiet, repeated rituals that hold up a culture of dominance. The kind of stuff that's there when we wake up every single morning.
And that kind of leaves us with a final question to chew on. Because once you start looking for these patterns, you really do start to see them everywhere. So, what are the roosters in our own world? What everyday sounds, images, or rituals are we just accepting without ever questioning the power structures they represent? It's a question worth asking.